Hi Virgo, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol. Virgo, this is your reading for August 2024. It's a general reading. And I just want to let you know that I will be offering personal readings coming up very soon-ish. So we are going to be doing mirror work in today's reading. So what is mirror work? Well, let me just tell you that mirror work is probably one of the best things that you can use to start to heal yourself, to start to find out what is coming up from your shadow to heal. And if you're new to shadow work, I'm going to leave a video for you. I'm going to link it right at the end of this video. And it's a video that I've done for my other channel called Carol Cares. And it's a video on shadow work, and it's also linked in the description box as well. So, yeah, it's going to tell you all about how to do shadow work. And shadow work is just basically healing what's coming up from your unconscious. So mirror work is about the whole concept about the universe is trying to reflect something to you that is connected to your inner world, to the unconscious. Now, I know that's a bit heavy, but I want you to understand it as when we start watching our outer world, like people that are in our life, like what's happening in our world to us, or even what's happening in the world itself, what's going on with our pets? What's going on in our own systems, health-wise maybe, or children. Children have an incredible way of triggering us. They always will be a mirror for us that are reflecting something back to us that we need to see, especially when, we sit here and go, they're driving me crazy, they're pissing me off, they're making me angry. That is mirror work. That is what the universe is reflecting back to you. That's related to a pattern or a belief system or a struggle or whatever it is that needs to heal. Now, let me give you an example. I am a retired teacher, and so I think it's really important to give you an example, a concrete example of mirror work. So I saw mirror work yesterday in action, and to me, I said to myself, I was trying to figure out why this was happening to me, because that's what mirror work is. And I knew it was because it was the story that I needed to tell you, the example. So yesterday I brought my car in for the umpteenth time to get fixed, and I now know that it's time to get rid of my car, by the way. It's just given me a lot of clues and things, memories that I'm done with part of this in my life, so it's time to get rid of this car. I know. But I was in the garage yesterday waiting in the waiting room with this woman, and there were just the two of us, and she had just finished talking to the technician, and you could tell that she was very much someone that was full of fear, full of anxiety, just the way she was walking around and talking about how she needed a cigarette. And I could just feel her anxious energy. And she started to talk to me, and she told me about her car and what it was doing. And her car, when it came to slow down and came to a stop or a light, she said she could see the whole dashboard, lights start to dimmer, and there was shaking going on, and her car would stall at the stop sign or at the lights. And this was happening all the way to her drive to bringing her car in, and it was happening all the time. And she told me there was even one incident last week where she had a police officer stop her because she was stalled in the middle of traffic, and he followed her where she was going. He followed her home. Now, this isn't, the woman's probably close to my age. I don't know. I have a hard time with the age. But she told me she was living with her parents. And I'm thinking in my head, like, why would you drive this vehicle knowing that it's going to stall all the way here? And the fear and the anxiety in her system over this car doing this to her was incredible. Now, she could have had a tow truck bring it in. She could have asked people she was living with to, give her a ride. But here's the thing about what's going on in this woman's outer world that she didn't realize that I knew it was going on because I've lived what she's going through. She's living a flashback, and the panic in her system. So she still thinks she's back in this flashback, and she doesn't realize that she can get out of this as an adult, but she still thinks she's back where she was a child and something was happening to her over and over and over again that was bringing up all this fear and all this anxiety, and she couldn't get out of it as a child, but she can as an adult. And so even just having that police officer saving her, and to me it just sounded like this was something from her childhood that was coming up for her to heal. And if you don't think that your car can be a mirror for you, oh my God. Like, I mean, my car has been an incredible mirror for me to, bring back a lot of my own flashbacks of when I was trapped as a child and I couldn't get out of my situation. And so this is what, it's very critical on this journey to start to become aware of what's going on in your outer world, your conscious world, and use it as a mirror to reflect what's happening or coming up for healing in your inner world from your unconscious. It's a fascinating concept that the universe has for us. It's beautiful. But this is the way we can start using our triggers, these people around us, our relationships, what situation you're sitting in with your own relationship. How is this a flashback? How is this bringing up patterns from your childhood? And so we're going to start right now and get into this reading because I could chat forever about mirror work. It's fascinating. So for your reading today, I'm going to be using 3 decks. I'm going to start out by using the Rider-Waite deck to pull the 8 cards that I need for you. And then I'm going to use the Tarot Grand Luxe for your outer world, which is going to be on your right side. And then I'm going to be using the Tarot of the Abyss for your inner world. And that's going to be going on your left side. And I'll also be using those 2 for clarifiers as well for the message of the universe and how you're going to heal this, right? So I'm going to take a minute right now, and I'm going to speed shuffle, and you can listen to a little bit of music while I get this all laid out for you, and then I'll come on and do your reading. All right? Oh, here's your reading. Now I haven't looked at this. I haven't prepared it. It's just me reading the cards right now, and it matches up somehow. So I have a overriding energy here for you, and it's the Magician in reverse. And this card is taken from your yearly reading that I did for you. And it's in my description box if you haven't had a chance to see it. But for the month of August for you, Virgo, I pulled up the Magician in reverse. And so this is the overriding energy for this reading. The Magician talks about, it's kind of a reminder to us that, and I was told this reminder at the beginning of my own healing journey when I began to heal my own complex trauma very intensely 7.5 years ago. I was told that I have all my answers in me. I have everything at my disposal. The Magician is the manifester. We can manifest things into our life. We can make things happen. We have everything in us as long as we're grounded. And I can see here that this Magician is in reverse here. So that could tell me that, you're not feeling like you have everything in you. You don't believe that you have all the answers in you. And you don't believe that good things can come to you. Or you're just very ungrounded. And sometimes when we try to manifest things, when we hope for things to come into our life and we tell the universe, I want this. If we are very ungrounded, we can have some unhealed parts of us that will call in people that are just not meant for us. And so that's where we're sitting with the Magician for you right now. We'll see how the energy of that's coming into play here. So let's start off with your outer world. So that's what you're seeing consciously. That's what you know. So it will resonate or not with you when I start describing what's going on here right now. And then we're going to turn to how that is a reflection of what's coming up for healing in your inner world from your unconscious, from your shadow. So you start off with the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Swords, all the knights in my deck, there are 4 of them. They are what I call my freedom fighters, and they are fighting for freedom. So it's like this part of you, we all have it, we all want to be free. But right now in particular, you're feeling like you want to be free. And this is the Knight with the sword. And so you want to be free, you want to be free to have authentic relationships. Right? So it's like you're pushing towards that. You want to be free to be you, to be authentic. And it's in reverse. So that tells me that there's probably, because you don't have this freedom, you don't have, this authenticity that you're fighting for, you maybe might be sitting in a bit of hopelessness, or you might be sitting in some anger. I mean, it is an adolescent part of us. So, imagine an adolescent being told, no. And so this is why you're could be sitting with that. And right behind it is the 5 of Wands. And so this is a clarify for this. And the 5 of Wands is this battle of the wands, right? Comparing yourself to other people. So I'm wondering if, I've done it and I do it sometimes, where you get on social media and you start scrolling and comparing yourself to other people. So it really is a card about self-worth. And, just feeling less than, because you have a tendency to compare yourself to other people, and we all can do it. And so there's some unworthiness that's coming forward here. And the wands are battling. There's some, and like I said, you're wanting your freedom there too. And then you have the 4 of Swords that comes right behind this. And here's some more sword energy. Sword energy is all about being up in your head. And I think you're in your head so much about this unworthiness that you're feeling, comparing yourself to other people. And it's just, you need some rest. You need to take time out for yourself, because I think the energy, these messages that you're telling yourself in your head is really, it's tiring. It's really tiring, the mind spinning we can do. And then the next card comes in is that, so we've kind of established already that I can see is that you're up in your head, somewhat, could be a lot. But then I see this card right here, which is the 4 of Cups that comes up next. And the 3 of Cups is an individual. Look at the posture of this individual, very much, crossing their arms. And when you think of somebody that does it, sometimes it looks like it's kind of a defensive stature, where they're kind of going, I'm done with emotions. I'm done feeling. I don't want to go inwards. I don't want to go back in my body. I don't want to feel, because that's where our emotions are back in our body. We live in our heads when the ego self will keep us in our head when we don't want to feel. But there's another cup here on offer. The universe is saying, well, do you want another cup? Maybe you're sitting here going, I've done all my healing. I'm finished healing. I don't want to go back to therapy. I'm not saying you have to go back to therapy unless this card comes up. It's a suggestion, but you're not willing to feel your feelings right now. But there is another cup on offer. And sometimes that cup can mean like, okay, maybe you've gone through this already and it's coming up again. And you're going, well, I already dealt with that. Why is this coming up again? Well, the universe is saying, well, maybe, you know what? Maybe you can go a little bit deeper into this emotion. I can't tell you how many times my loneliness has come in. I've processed it and it's gone. And then it comes up again and again and again. So I can spiral and spiral and spiral through loneliness at different periods, but I'm going deeper and deeper and deeper into it. And so there is a cup here on offer for you to start to feel your emotions again. And right behind it is the 7 of Cups. And so more cup energy here. But the cup, this is a different kind of cup energy here, where when you have all these 7 of Cups on offer, it's like you have all of these distractions in your life going on right now. And that's what this, and I think here for me, when you have all these distractions going on, there's a lot going on here in your life, I can see, because you're not willing to feel. And so when we're not willing to feel, sometimes we can really be distracted from our outside world. You know, and sometimes when I talked about social media. I mean, one of my distractions or my addictions, and I know that when I get into it, there's pain coming up, is for me to scroll on the phone and look at, you know, and that's where I can start comparing myself to other people. And we did mention that. Three of Swords here. Well, Three of Swords is a card of pain. It's a card of pain. And so definitely I can see now that what's happening is that these distractions here are definitely keeping you away from your pain. You're staying in your head to stay away from your body, from your pain. That's where all your emotions are. So there's some pain here that's coming to the surface in your outer world. You are feeling some pain here. King of Wands is coming out. The king is our masculine part. All of my kings are our masculine side of us. It's our ego self. And I did talk about the ego here that keeps you up in your head so that you don't go in your body. The ego self is a very, very scared part. They are petrified of emotions, and they do not want you to go into your body to feel. So this is the Wands, and the Wands is all about going in that direction, our purposeful direction that we're meant to go in. You know, it could even be just a small little step for yourself, a different step that you want to go into, maybe that you've been thinking about taking. But this ego self will kind of, you know, a lot of times when we want to go and take a new step, and maybe this is what it is for ourselves, do something for ourselves. The king will, our ego self will come in and go, no, we'll kibosh it all, because these, and especially because these emotions are all coming up here, because a lot of times we were going, in order to take that jump, we have to sometimes work through a layer of what is stopping us from taking this leap here. And so you definitely have your ego self out right now to protect you from going inwards to these painful emotions. And then you have the Lover's card right here. And the Lover's card speaks about a very, very intimate relationship. Speaks about a very vulnerable relationship. In the Rider-Waite deck, it has two individuals that the masculine part is staring out into you know, their consciousness. They're not even looking at the feminine side, and the feminine is staring up. And so it's a representation of our feminine side and our masculine side. And the reason why this card is out for you, it's a major arcana card, so it's like a universal force here that's coming in for you to recognize, is that you're very much in your masculine part of you, which is your ego self. And there's another part of you that you need to recognize. I did tell you at the beginning that your overriding energy is this magician. And the magician tells you have everything in you. And one of the things that you do have in you, which is the feminine side of us, is our intuition. And so maybe that'll come up here. You know, it's our intuition, it's our inner guidance, right? So I think this is coming up for you to realize that there is another side of you, and that's the emotional side, the feminine side, that is trying to come up here, because it's time for you to feel some of these emotions, this pain that's coming up, that's sitting here in your conscious. And finally, this beautiful Strength card, another major arcana card, comes in. And the Strength card comes in as a reminder to tell you that it's actually number 7, so it's more of an introspective. 7 is an introspective number, and there's going to be a shift here for you. And the shift, it's a spiritual shift. You know, when I say spiritual, it's not woo-woo stuff. I'm not talking about religion. I'm not talking about woo-woo at all. I'm talking about this whole thing about the shift of going inwards, of shifting from your masculine, your ego self, being up in your head, and going into your body. And so this strength card says you have the strength to do this. I know when there's so much pain coming up to the surface, we just want to push it back down, right? We don't want to deal with it. But it's saying you have the strength for you to do this time. Here is the card. Here is the universe saying, one more time here. We're going to go a little bit deeper. We're going to start to feel so we can get rid of this pain. So what's going on here? We need to look at your inner world now and see what it is, what this pain is that's coming up for you. And because this is a reflection, whenever we're feeling this pain in our outer world, there's pain coming up in our inner world. Now, your inner world is your childhood. It's your adolescence. It's, there's trauma in there. There's memories in there, things that you've repressed over the years. And so the first card that comes up for you right here is the Nine of Wands. And in an upright position, this is an individual that's been through battle. And wands are about battle. We saw them with the Five of Wands here, how much of a conflicting energy it is. This tells me right here that you've been through a lot. I'm going to say that you've been through a really chaotic childhood, very dysfunctional, probably because it comes out as the first card, and it's telling me that you've been through a lot as a child. And it's in reverse here. Maybe there's a denial, and because you don't want to feel, there are probably some things that you're denying. And also, right underneath it is the Moon card, which is things that are hidden. There are things that are hidden in our unconscious that we don't know, even. Like our unconscious, we don't know what's in our unconscious. And once we start to heal, we start to realize, what's in there and what happened to us. And right behind the Nine of Wands is the Tower in reverse. And so this tells me that, this pain that you went through as a younger child was very transformative. It transformed you into someone else. Because when you have, I always look at the Tower moment when it comes in the inner world part, in your unconscious. If it were upward, it would say, oh, there was something specific. There's a specific incident that happened. And now because to me, it's like, it wasn't something specific. Though there could have been specific events, but it's kind of saying in general that your life, your childhood was like a Tower moment for you, where it just was very transforming because it was such a difficult childhood. And then you have the Empress right behind everything. Here she is. Here's the feminine side to you. The Empress is the third card in the major arcana. She's the second half. She's with the Empress, number 2, of the feminine side of you. She is the body. She is all about the body. She is all about getting back into your body and feeling your emotions. Here are your emotions. They're sitting here, right here. These are these emotions that, you weren't allowed to feel. They're buried. Look what they're buried under. You have these wands, this chaotic situation. You have this Tower moment that's creating this transformative state. And underneath all of this is the Empress card. These are your emotions. You were too young to feel all of this. Way too young. Children can't feel big emotions. They don't understand what's going on. It's too gray for them. And so they put it all away and they store it. We store our emotions in our body. And that's why so many things can happen to us as far as our health. When we don't deal with our emotions, it shows up in our health. It shows up in our body. I've come to a point in my healing where anything that shows up on my body, and anything that sore arm or a sore this or a sore that or anything, I know that it means something that's coming up, that something needs to heal. And so your emotions here, they were too big for you to handle, but now they're coming up for you as an adult in your outer world right now, to feel them now, to feel them what your younger part of you could not feel. There are things, like I said, in the moon card coming up here that are hidden. There are things that you don't know that need to come out here. And right behind it is your Six of Pentacles. And the Six of Pentacles is, take a look at this card. It's in reverse, but take a look at this card right here. And this is the Six of Pentacles. It's a card of the beggar. This individual over here, this beggar's asking for some money. He believes that he's worth 3 coins, 3 pentacles, and this individual is going to weigh them out. I don't know if I see a scale here. There's no scale. Normally there's a scale to weigh them out, but you know, we're going to measure it out. I'm going to give you. You think you're worth 3 pentacles, 3 coins? I'll give you 3 coins. So it really is a card of unworthiness. It represents, it's a number 6, so it's got a duality to it, like giving and receiving. So what you feel you're worth is what you're going to receive. And you know, this is the second card that's come out here about unworthiness. And that is a big emotion. And the big emotion that's attached to unworthiness is shame. And that's your 5 of Wands right here that came out. Came out as your clarifier, top row in your outer world. And now your inner world is coming out here as right in the middle of everything. Right in the middle of everything that went on with you in your inner world here that's coming up for you is your unworthiness. When you come from a childhood like this, you really feel like you don't matter. You really feel like that, and there's so much unworthiness here. I would not be surprised if you're sitting in some depression, or you go in and out of your depression, out of hopelessness, because that's what happens when we're a child. We become hopeless because our world is too much for us to handle. And then you have the 2 of Wands here that sits behind everything. And what's very interesting that you need to know about your inner world is that oftentimes we have like sort of a direction we're meant to go into, but we have to dig in our inner world to find what it is. Here's your 2 of Wands. You know, as a child, you were really lost. You had no direction. You didn't know where to go. But there's a card here that's saying there's something in here that's telling you that you know, it's going to tell you what your next move is or where you're meant to go. And it's, you know, your Magician is that overriding energy here. And I told you that you have all your answers inside of you, all of them. They're sitting right here in your shadow, in your inner world here. That's ready for you to explore. But there's some unworthiness here that has to be worked through first before you can clear the path. And then this Tower moment comes up. So you have not only a tower, you have 2 towers in your inner world. That in your in your inner world, you're unconscious. That says a lot to me. This talks about a very specific incident in particular that happened to you when you were younger, that was very transformative, that changed who you were. You might know what it is. You may not. You might have an idea. Sometimes we can say to ourselves, well, I know what's in my shadow. And we don't know what's in our shadow. We've put it away. And so I want more information about this Tower moment. It's going to tell me, well, something happened to you when you were younger. Specific incident here where here's the 8 of Swords here. And the 8 of Swords is a card in an upright position where you feel absolutely no way out of your situation. Now, if this card came upright in your outer world, I would have said to you that as an adult, you see no way out, and you would feel that as an adult, but you can get out of this because this particular individual is not tied up at the feet. They can get out. They can walk away, right? This is coming in your inner world when you were a child, and it's in reverse. Why? Because you had no way out of this. You were a child, an adolescent, something happened to you, and there was no way out. And that's what we need to understand when we start doing this healing work and have compassion for ourselves, because there is no way out when you're a child. And we tend to kind of blame ourselves, and this is where we take on this unworthiness and saying, it must be my fault. And I'm going to take it on because, we can't blame our caretakers, because what would happen if we realized that it was their fault and not mine? Well, we need them in our life somehow, even though this is all going on. And so we take the blame for it. We take the blame. We think it's our fault. This is all my fault. And maybe you had a caretaker that pointed at you and said it was your fault, because that happens. And so you need to realize here that whatever happened to you as a child was not your fault. This video is going to be called this. This was not your fault. You saw no way out of this. Queen of Pentacles, a beautiful feminine energy that comes up here. Here's the Queen. She is the feminine side of us as well as the Empress. And she is the Queen of the Pentacle, the Queen of the body. Now you have two cards here. You have the Empress and you have the Queen of Pentacles. That has everything to do with your feminine side that is sitting here in your inner world. So it's beautiful here. You have your masculine side here and your feminine side here. You have everything in you. You just need to go inwards, and you have everything in you in here to feel. It's time to feel again. It's time to feel your shame. I want to leave you. I know I'm probably going to leave you with a playlist on shame, because you need to heal that. And so what is the message from the universe? What message does the universe have before we get into how you're going to heal this over here? So the message from the universe is the Two of Pentacles. This is the juggler right here. Very, very ungrounded. He's juggling on one foot, kind of juggling a lot of things, very distracted. Got a lot of things going on. It could be a multitasker. Maybe you're one of these people that are very busy, busy, busy. And did we say you were busy at the beginning? I can't remember here. A lot of things going on. Well, we had the Seven of Cups here for you. That's very much a person that's distracted, doing a lot going on here. And so the universe wants you, look at your stomach here at the back. Look at these emotions. They're not still. They're just all over the place right at the back, because water's all about emotions. And so the universe is saying, it's time to get grounded. It's time to get grounded. It's important. We're going to work on getting grounded here. And the next card comes out is the Four of Wands. And, that's just, the Wands is, the universe wants you to build a solid foundation for yourself so you can walk away, right? And right now you're not in a place where you're able to step out of this, because you're not stable enough. I can really feel that you're ungrounded here. You're not solid. This is a number 4 card. The universe wants to get you solid. The universe wants to take these 4 fingers right here and get you grounded on get you grounded to the earth. And so you can go inwards and feel this. You have the Strength card that's come out for you. You can do this, Virgo. And then you get the Four of Coins, the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles speaks of this attachment card, and it's in reverse here. So, I'm wondering if there are sometimes it could be some attachment issues that have come up here that might have something to do with this Tower card. I don't know, but definitely it's in reverse here. And, which means that, it's something that needs to be looked at for sure. And again, another number 4. So trying to set a solid foundation for you, because right now you could be attached to, this feeling of depression, maybe this feeling of hopelessness, this feeling of shame, this feeling of this whole idea of it was my fault, yeah. And the universe says, well, we need to work on this. We need to work on this so that you know and you start to understand that it was not your fault and you had no choice. You couldn't walk away from this. It's a heavy reading for you. The Hermit card. So how can you start to heal this? Well, the Hermit card is all about going inwards. Right now, you're not going inwards. The Hermit card wants you to carve out time for you. And I often see this as a card to take some time to do two things, which are my number one tools. I have two tools that I use in my own healing. One is journaling. I journal every day, a few times a day sometimes. I journal about all my emotions and what I'm feeling. And I have videos on that also on my other channel called Carol Cares. And grounding, learning how to ground. Now, I said I would give you some videos, so I definitely want to give you videos on, I have two more cards here to go. Let me just read these two cards and I'll decide what videos I'm going to give you. So the universe wants you to take some time out for you and start to really put an effort into your healing. There's some pain here that needs healing. And the universe wants you to bring this into justice, get some justice around this thing. Find out who you really are under all of this. Justice is about, cutting through the bullshit with the sword, bringing balance to a situation, finding out who you are under all of this, right? Because here's that Two of Wands card that's looking, right? Who the hell am I? What direction do I need to go into? And the last card is a card of safety, the Six of Swords. I see this as a card, look at this, this individual being taken away somewhere safe. So maybe the universe says, maybe it's time. You can interpret this, it's a general reading, but maybe there's some people, things that you need to walk away from in order to get yourself to a safe place, because you need to be safe in order to heal this. If you are in a situation right now, and the only reason I'm saying this is because the safety card came out. If you are in a situation right now where you're being re-traumatized, you know that you're in a partnership, or you know that you're with people around you, surrounded around by people that are not safe for you, or not good for you, you can't do this work if you're going to keep on being re-traumatized by them. So, it talked about the feminine energy, so I'm going to give you two playlists, one on grounding and one on shame. And then as far as giving you the shadow work video, it will be in my description. It'll be the first video in my description box for you. So those are the two videos I'm going to give you, grounding and playlist on shame, both of them. And both of them are going to help you get back into your body and to start to work on some of the shame. And then, you can maybe look at journaling and see how you're going to journal from some things that you're feeling. All right, Virgo, it's been a tough reading for you. But, sometimes we need to hear it. And you can do this. You have the Strength card. So have compassion for yourself for what you're working through, Virgo. I know this is a very difficult journey, but it's the most important journey of your life. So I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.